Hey guys, in this section we're going to take this static gallery and give it a little bit of dynamic properties. Alright, so what we want is we want these to animate when we click on a certain category, and we're going to do that with the help of the JQuery Quicksand plugin. Alright, so if you go to razorjack.net/quicksand and go down to download, click on that, and basically you'll just get this JavaScript file. Alright, so you want to grab this and place it in your JavaScript folder of the project. Alright, so JavaScript, what I'm going to do is just get it from my finished version, but you can do that. You can grab it from the program files, or you can download it from that site. So in the JavaScript folder we have this. I'm actually going to get the JQuery file itself too. We don't need this jQuery UI.js file. Alright, I don't know why that's in there, but we don't need it. I'm just going to copy these two and paste them in there. Alright, so that takes care of that. Now we need to include it in our HTML document. And we're going to put our JavaScript files at the footer, under the section. And it just works better that way, the way this application runs. So we'll say include jQuery, say script src equals js/jQuery.js. Alright, next we'll have the Quicksand plugin. Alright, so I'm just going to copy this, and this is going to be jQuery.quicksand. Alright, so now that should be included. Let's save that, and let's open up Chrome Tools, go to Console, and reload. Alright, so that means that they're included. If they weren't, it would show up down here. So what we need to do now is add our custom JavaScript or jQuery that will generate these links up here for us, and also give us that animation that I showed you from the finished one. Alright, so we need to go to script.js. Actually, did we include that? We didn't include that yet, so let's just I'm gonna copy this, say include custom.js. Make sure that you put this underneath these two. Alright, script.js should be the last one you include. Okay, let's make sure that it's connected. Alright, now go to script.js, and to use jQuery, what we're going to do is we're only going to run this code after the document or the DOM is ready. Alright, so with jQuery we use the $. I'm guessing you probably know this, at least the basics of jQuery. If you don't, I would really suggest that you go to jQuery.com or to the W3 Schools website and just freshen up on it a bit. Alright, so we want to take the document object and say whenever it's ready, we're going to call a callback function, basically just a function that runs right now. Alright, so everything that we do should be in between here. Alright, because we're saying if the document's ready, do this. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is create a variable called items, and I'm going to set that to our gallery so we can grab it with the ID, gallery, and then the LI. Alright, and that is right here. We have our unordered list with the ID of gallery, and we're taking the LI. Alright, actually let's put a comma here. I'm going to create another variable called items by tags. Okay, and that's going to be an empty array for now. Alright, and what we want to do is loop through those tags. So loop through tags, and we're going to say items dot each. Alright, so this is a loop in jQuery. Function, we can pass in I here to use. Okay, so this is a callback function. So it's going to iterate through, and then we're going to create a variable called elem for element, and it's going to be equal to this, which points to the element that we're currently using. Okay, which will be the li tag. All right, so this, and then we're going to set this variable tags equal to lm.data, and then in here we're going to say tags. So what this is doing is basically grabbing the categories from this data tags. All right. Let's see. I'm going to do split. We want to split them at the comma, and that should be good. All right. So next we want to add the data ID attribute for Quicksand. All right, so let's see. So lm dot, now the lm just means this. All right, so whatever element we're using, which is the list tag, all right, or the current iteration of that list tag. So lm attribute and inside of here we're going to add the data ID attribute. So data ID and I. Okay, now I just represents whatever iteration that we're in the loop. Alright, so after that, we're going to do each tags. Let me think. I think now we need a callback. Yeah, function. Yeah, in here, inside of the callback, we're going to have two parameters. We're going to have key and value. Alright, and then in here, we want to remove the white space. And I apologize if I can't explain every single line or every single element. I just want to be able to fit it all in. You should have a basic understanding of JavaScript and jQuery anyway, so that's why if I skip something, I apologize. So now, to remove the white space, so we're going to take this value variable and equal to trim. Okay, trim the value, which will get rid of the white space for us. All right, and then down here we'll say if if not value in items by tags, then add the empty value. Okay, items by tags, whatever the value is equal to an empty value. Alright, and then under that if statement, we want to add the image to the array. So essentially we're just creating an array of images that we want to display. Okay, items by tags, whoop, value dot push, and then we're going to put in this, which is LM. Alright, that looks good. And this here, this push, basically what this does, it just adds an element to our array. Alright, or I'm sorry, not an element, an item. It adds an item to our array, which in this case will be the image. Alright, so we're going to create a function called createList, and what that's going to be the function that generates our navigation. Alright, but what we want to do here is I want to add it so that we have this all items as well, because if we don't do what we're going to do right now, then we're not going to have this option. It's just going to be the categories. Alright, so let's do that. Let's see, make sure I have all my semicolons and stuff, which I don't. Okay, that should be there. And then after the second one, we'll just say create all items option, I guess. Alright, so we're going to run this createList function, which we haven't created yet. And then we're just going to pass in, for a parameter, we're going to pass in the text that we want, which is all items.